Talking about what was your first car?
My first car was a 1986 Volvo 740 GLE, and it was a hand-me-down.
740. It's the station wagon?
No, it was the
sedan.
sedan. But let me tell you, it was such a pile of crap. It barely ran, and back then, the electronics were just so not reliable. So if it wasn't one thing, it was the other. It was the mass airflow sensor that was bad, or the TPS sensor, or this, that, and the other. There's always something that was wrong with it. And to this day, like you before we started rolling, you were telling me that you've been to Santa Monica. I grew up in Santa Monica, and I could tell you all the places that I've broken down in that car. Like, there's certain pockets on the 10 freeway or the 405 or the 5 freeway. I'll point to you. Next time we're in LA, I'll point to you. Hey, you see that little ditch right there? I broke down there, and I had to floor it I had to time it so well to not get hit by traffic to get back onto the highway. I can tell you where I've blown tires in it. I could tell you where I ran over a parking block and I knocked the exhaust off. So it was kind of like open headers for a while. I definitely had my problems with that car. It wasn't a good entry into European cars. It didn't have air conditioning, didn't have a radio, had a really bad exhaust leak. So I feel like I would get high every time I drove it. But it was a free car.
Okay.
And you can't complain about that, So it got me around. And quickly it evolved into me fixing the car myself. Everything. I was so proud of myself to change the fuel pump on that vehicle. I did it myself. I didn't ask for any help. I even had to read a book to know how to do it. But I did it, and that's kind of what really triggered, I feel like, my love for working on cars, even though it's not my specialty. But it's just about doing something mechanical, doing something with your hands. And then if you did it right, then you're rewarded with a vehicle that runs. And yeah, I guess from there, it snowballed since I was 18 years old.
Getting back to the cars, because I'm curious to see, because I see myself in a lot of cars that I see you driving around and enjoying it, because mostly I'm a JDM lover as well. I like cars at all, but for some reason, I identify myself more into the Japanese ones. And what was the first car that you got for yourself that you started to enjoy it on the custom car, not like by performance or whatever, but what was the first car that you were able to get that different pleasure that my car is not the same as your car, because I made that.
Yeah. Do you know what a Nissan Maxima is?
Yes.
So I had a 1994 Nissan Maxima.
SR?
SE. And so
no, the engine.
Oh no,
SR20?
It was before a VQ. It was the predecessor to the VQ.
Okay.
It was called a VE.
Okay.
So the very next generation was the VQ30 DE. And then the next generation after that was the VQ35, which everybody loves for it or hates the sound. Love for the hate of the sound. But I had a 1994, and it was 5-speed manual. It had a LSD. It made 190 horsepower, 190 foot-pounds of torque, and that was the first vehicle that I enjoyed. I actually looked out for that vehicle as hey, this is reliable. It's a Nissan. It gets good fuel mileage. It has a lot of room. I'm like justifying this to my parents. I saved up enough money to purchase it. enjoyed it, but secretly in the back of my mind, I'm like, I gotta modify this. And I used it for my first track days. I autocrossed it. I modified it enough where when I took it to the racetrack, it would always get on 3 wheels. And the trick that I used to do is when I would corner, it would get on 3 wheels, and then the inside wheel that lifted, it would stop.
Oh.
Because I know a lot of Volkswagens do this
Yes.
too, right? Because it's front wheel drive. Because I would tap the brakes, almost like left foot braking or trail braking to get around a corner. And it's like I would pick up a wheel like a dog peeing, and I would just go around the corner with one wheel up. It was so much fun, and I loved going around with my friends in it. And I would just redline it all day because it was fun. It was manual. It had an LSD. You know, it was fun, and it kind of got me into that Nissan brand. And the very next car that I got was my 1972 40Z, which I still have. And I've been a JDM fan all my life, a Nissan fan, but I love everything. You know, I love Porsches. I love American cars. I honestly love all cars. There's just not enough time in the day in the year to enjoy these cars, as you know.
Yeah, the same thing. And was interesting because the first thing that came in my mind when I think on the Nissan Maxima, it's the video of the guy on a mustache against a Porsche 911,
Yes.
I guess. Do you remember
Yes.
that drag race?
So-
like the guy with the hat and
That's a 4th gen
yes,
Maxima, and I think because that time that's a VQ, and they had supercharged and turbocharged versions of that, and that didn't have independent rear. It had a solid rear axle, but that was like the first one. Also, that was OBD2 because it was a 1995 and on. That one had so much potential for modifying. Actually, I recently just went to the Moto IQ. You know Moto IQ?
Yeah.
I went to their office, and they had one that was like so modified, like the most modified I've ever seen. And it just brought back memories. And I was like, oh, it's so cool. It looks so good. You know, it was almost like a baby Skyline. You know?
Yeah.
But it was front wheel drive, and it was all we had. Because we didn't have anything like a R32, R33, R34. I mean, we had the 300ZX, but that was so expensive back then. It could not have been further. Like I again, something I looked up on a pedestal. Like, wow, it came with 300 horsepower. That's crazy, you know. But that was. I loved that car. I missed that car, but unfortunately, I sold that car.
Okay, and what cars do you currently have in your garage?
I have this is a difficult
Do you still
question.
Do you still
because
remember all of them? Because sometimes I have some.
So what do you say when people ask you what do you drive? Because people assume that if you're a car fan, you have one car that you drive. That it's like your cool car. You have a BMW M3, or you have a Ferrari, or you have a Lamborghini, or whatever. People ask you all the time, I'm sure. What is your political answer?
I mean, I list my cars, and they okay, but which one you likes most? And the thing is that I answer it always like, when you have more than one child, there's no child that you likes most. And with cars, for me, it's pretty much the same thing, because I may like one car for one reason, and I like the other one for another reason. Like I have old cars, bone stock ones. I use it to have, because I K-swapped and ZF8 and went into SEMA, but it was bone stock. And I enjoyed driving that 1979 car, the Caravan. I use it like 3 times a week to go to the office. And it was amazing driving a car like people use it to drive in 79. I mean, most of the cars nowadays, you can just, you can do whatever you want. The car drives by itself. But on that car in a specific, if you get into your phone to say good morning on the family group on WhatsApp, you change it 2 lanes at least, because you always need to pay attention to the road and stuff like that. And it's different because I like all my cars. I bought them for a reason, every single one of them. But
do you know how many cars you have?
Yes, like 13, 14.
Okay, so I asked this question to some people, and they don't actually know.
Yes.
So, like, for a good example, you know who Daigo Saito is.
Yes.
I asked him, how many cars do you have? And he said, it's over 100, but it's under 200. It's somewhere in between there. So I don't know how these individuals like Jay Leno or whomever, I don't know how they can explain what they have. Because as soon as somebody hears that I'm into cars, I'm a car guy, they want to know, what do I drive? So the easy answer is, if I feel like they can kind of understand what I'm trying to explain, I say I drive the car for the occasion. Like if it's off-road, I'll drive an off-road vehicle. If it's on-road, I'll drive an on-road vehicle. If I need to go drifting, I'll drive my drift car. If I need to do time attack or track day or do a road trip, I have cars for that. And car fans will understand that. If it's not a car person, I would just say I drive a Land Cruiser. That's my daily car.
Works for everything.
I drive a Land Cruiser, and it's very comfortable, and it's a couch, and I just want to be comfortable, and that's what I drive every day.
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah. I agree.